thought I'd reveal the camera. It's not that it's a big deal. I just wanted to get a little basic idea of it before I revealed it. And it's going to be used. It's going to be used mostly inside initially, but I'm going to be taking it out and using it out in the field. And let me, before I tell you exactly what camera this is, let me tell you about my previous experience. If you look in my previous videos, you know I had two DSLRs that I've used. I've used the, I think it was the T5, which is the very lowest end of the Canon, and it's low end for a reason. And the, I can't recall the initials, but it's the Nikon 3300. The Nikon 3300 was a good functioning camera because it would do something the T5 wouldn't. The T5I would have, at a couple of $100 extra bucks, it would have done what the T5 should have done as any functional camera, in my opinion. You could not, with the T5, get autofocus in video. And if you know video, you're going to be changing focal points continuously. If you're going to be doing any action shots, if you're going to be doing just walking down the street. The T5 wouldn't do that. You would have to go in and hit the autofocus button, which would make it mechanically focus, and voila, you could have gotten that done. But you would have had to do that 1,000 times for a 4 or 5 minute video. It did not make sense. That was a horrible purchase. The 3300 was not so bad, but it was very loud. It's, you know, and when you get these machines, the focus, the autofocus is a mechanical function most of the time. So it will move the lens, in effect, back and forth. And the 3300 was very loud. Now I probably could have gotten over that with a microphone, but I'm not even sure if it supported a microphone. I know the T5 didn't. You only could use the internal mic. The T5 for Canon, who is the master of DSLRs, was basically an entry point, and then they made an upgrade required virtually immediately. Because not many of us are going to be using any camera purely for photographs. We're going to be using it for photographs potentially, and for video certainly. So that was the problem with that. So after selling both of those, and the reason I'm showing you them now, what they do is I sold them both, and a lot of other stuff. I'm trying to, there's a Japanese philosophy of you reach a perfect balance when one more is too many, and one fewer is not enough. I'm trying to do that to the degree my self-control will allow. So I've gotten rid of a lot of my extraneous equipment I've gathered over the years, etc., and just sold it off and put it all on this, and a portion of this has been paid off, thankfully. But it still was a stiff pill to swallow. This is the Canon 70D. And I guess if you're going to call this something, you could call this purchase probably an effect of the Casey Neistat effect on YouTube. Casey Neistat is actually a professional filmmaker, made a few movies, got a few awards, and decided to go back and just do YouTube. So he's a big man, huge, and nobody, especially somebody as rookie as I am, has any goal of copying him or exceeding him. But I did know he was a man who didn't buy the most expensive equipment, so I looked to him and what he was using as a guideline on what to buy. By the way, he also took a golf club or something and beat one of these 70Ds to death because it wasn't doing what he wanted to do, but that's a whole different story. But this is the highest end of the amateur and just below the low end of the professional cameras. So it does a dual, I can't remember, hybrid focus or dual type of focus, which would allow you to actually focuses more quickly than the cameras at the lower end of that toward the low end, and it equals to some of the cameras above it. So an autofocus is the only thing I was really interested in, is fast autofocus. So that's this, and this thing cost, and I still have a few more things to sell, but I have gotten rid of, how much of the cost now? Probably 2/3 of the cost. So by just getting rid of junk and selling junk. And I've got a lot more stuff to sell. I'm going to be moving soon, and I don't want to move everything I own. any case, you get two, the 70D and 6D, which is slightly below this one. It doesn't focus quite as well. Have these something called the creators kit, which is basically a turnkey kit supposedly for YouTube people. I did not buy that. I just bought the basic camera kit because that's going to be much more expensive than this. And with this, you actually get two lenses, which shows how expensive it probably is. This is a 55 by 250 millimeter lens, and the one that I've got on there is an 18 by 55 millimeter lens. So, you know, and I've used it. You saw the one little test video I've shown. I've done a few more videos in that. Nothing you'd really be interested in seeing yet. But, you know, I'm going to get the hang of it, and then I'm going to use it. I'm still going to be using my Heroes quite a bit of the time on these digs. Digs are just not built for this kind of camera. Outdoor action cameras are built for outdoor work, so that'll still be my chief focus. But if I get a chance to go out and do some other things in more picturesque areas, then I will be using this. And I got a couple of additional things that are almost required by this when you buy this. Getting the camera and the lens to the side. It does support an external microphone, and the T5 didn't. So I've got this one, which I bought thinking the T5 would support it. It didn't. I got a little clip-on microphone, so if I can do a little camera-to-camera work, which is more than likely what this will be used for initially, so you will be able to see my face in all its splendor, which is a little bit frightening. But I can always soften up the focus, make it look better. And I bought this one, which is another, and these are low end. This one is actually battery powered, and this one is not. This one is just just plug it in and go. This one's slightly battery powered, so hopefully it would, if this one has issues, it's going to be better. There is a good Rode, R-E-D-E microphone. It's about $250 or so. I didn't buy that. Who knows? I might sometime in the future. But first I'm going to see if these will do the job, and these together are probably a little bit more than a little less than a fifth of that cost. And I bought this. This is also a bit of the Neistat effect. It's the GorillaPod, which makes this thing a lot more usable out in the field. And this is, I think this is the top end, the Ball Head X, the GorillaPod Focus, the top end of the GorillaPod line. It goes about $100, so it was a nice little additional cost. But what it will allow me to do, it's a very strong version of the GorillaPod. It's huge, and when you got a camera that costs as much, you don't want to chinch on something like a small tripod. Now with this, which is by Joby, of course, a lot of us have got GorillaPods stuff right here. What this will allow you to do is to mount this thing, and with this ball head attachment, it will allow you to get the camera into some unusual orientations in order to center your picture. And you know, not only did I buy this because of the Neistat effect, I also watched the Wrangler star, and he was also using this. I don't know if he bought his because of the Neistat effect or not, but it's a very, very sturdy piece, and you can even hold the camera in it. And if you want to create a little selfie camera, but I'm not that interested in looking at myself, you can just kick it up, and then you can hold it out like this, and actually, you know, you create like a very, very large selfie camera. But since I'm not a vlogger, I don't see myself doing that in the foreseeable future. But so that's it. I just want to show you. This is a little bit of that. And I bought a couple extra batteries. I know it'd be better to buy the Canon, but I'm not going to spend. I could buy 6 of these or 3 of these, which is 2 batteries each, and a charger for the cost of probably 1 Canon battery. And they say these aren't as good. If they last 50%, if each one of these batteries lasts 50% as long as the Canon does, it still is a lot cheaper than buying the Canon battery. And who knows, you know, given material concerns, and if something happens, I might be able to buy a Canon battery. But right now, I'm just going to keep it on the low end. I went a little higher end in the camera than I planned to, So I'm going to stick with the low end elsewhere, with the exception of anything that the camera stands on. So I'll probably have to get a very good tripod at some point as well, because I don't want this thing hitting the floor. In any case, this is the camera. It's a Canon 70D. I didn't buy the creator's kit. I put together my own kit with external microphones, with a clip-on microphone, so you can, in case you might need to see my beautiful face. And of course, these were the stock additional lens, in addition to the 1855 millimeter. So that's all I want to show you. I've got a few other additions, but they're very, very cheap additions to my my heroes, because my heroes are going to be the camera I'm going to be using in the field the most often. So I want to have those where I can clip them on, tie them on, swing them on, put them on my wrist, put them in my chest, etc. Anyway, I'll talk to you later, and you have a wonderful day, and I hope the wait was worth it. It's the Canon 70D. If you want to look it up, and if you want to upgrade your stuff, it's probably, like I said, it's at the high end of the amateur and just below the low end of the professional level. Costs a few bucks, but if you're going to do a lot of autofocus, you're going to do a lot of video, and you're going to use a DSLR, I think it's going to be worth it. I will talk to you later, and you have a wonderful day.